Hi, and welcome to the next episode of Belly to Belly. And we're here today to talk about SelectUSA Investment Summit 2025 preparation. And we're with great friend, Zeynep Ilgaz from Cross Ocean Ventures. How are you doing today, Zeynep?
Oh, it's doing great, Bill. How are you?
I am really well. And what we're aiming to do is really help companies coming, essentially pre-meet resources that maybe they want to meet when they get to SelectUSA, and really kind of encourage pre-connection so that, as much as we can do as much as possible in the time that we're, that quick 2.5 days that we're together in Washington. But would you mind talking a little bit about what your organization, what your fund does to help international companies expand into the US?
Yeah, and it's really great that you're doing this type of program, Bill, because the more resources these companies get, the better. I'm a former tech founder turned investor. So right now I'm a general partner at Cross Ocean Ventures. And what we do is we call them immigrant founders, since we were immigrant founders, mostly from Europe and other parts of some parts of Asia that have a potential to grow in the US market. And we provide seed stage funding anywhere from $50,000 to $300,000.
That's fantastic. And I know you've been very invested in SelectUSA. You've been a judge of the tech pitching. You're currently a mentor for the SQUIT, or the Select Global Women in Tech program.
Yeah.
Why is it that you find that SelectUSA is so important for companies that are coming into the US?
I wish I knew about this program when we were starting up, let me put it that way. I think it's a great resource for companies, especially if they do not have a presence yet, to really figure out what's my starting point going into the US market, from selecting a location of entrance to the resources provided to them. Do I want to start my business in California versus somewhere on the East Coast? Even those types of decisions sometimes can make it and break it for these companies. And SelectUSA has this amazing platform where every state is represented, so you're able to speak to different state representatives. There's a lot of resource providers, from immigration law attorneys to business services consultants that can help. And there's funding opportunities. When we fund companies, our prerequisite is that they do have a US market potential. Whether they have an office here or not, it doesn't matter. That's going to happen eventually. And we do equity funding, so we take some equity out of the company. It's not a loan, it's not a debt vehicle. So, and I think these companies need a lot of capital, especially when they're entering into a new market like the US.
Sure. And bringing up your fund, is there? I would imagine with your background, you're probably aiming more at tech companies, but do you have a specialty within the array of companies coming that are particularly attractive for your organization?
Yeah, great question. First of all, it has to be a great team. And the technologies that we're looking at digital health, software, IoT, Internet of Things, a lot of AI platforms. These days, we've been looking at some security solutions as well. So that's kind of the realm of industries we're looking at in general. We're not doing any hardware deals or pharmaceutical deals.
Perfect. Cool. So the kind of the last topic area is really to talk about any suggestions you have for companies coming in terms of how to get the most out of the event or their US visit. Keeping in mind, some may already have US customers, they may already have a US office. Others, haven't even yet decided to come, but they're kind of anywhere in that continuum. But how do they get the most out of the event?
I think first of all, do your homework, do your research. I would definitely recommend them to set up meetings in advance and just have a very detailed own agenda going into these sessions and setting up your meetings. And there's an app that SelectUSA has. You can connect with speakers, other panelists, or companies. Really doing your research, and especially if they're talking to investors, have your pitch ready, have your elevator pitch ready if you're an earlier stage company. If you're later stage, again, it's a great way to meet partners, potential partners, collaborators, try to work with these state representatives. There are high-level people coming, attending, to see if there's any incentives you can get, and just build that network and connections. That would be my biggest advice. And then once you're at the event, really build on that networking, connect, and then after the event, just do a lot of the follow-ups and build on those connections.
Oh, that's such great advice. The whole idea of preparation, kind of really think about who you want to meet, and then pre-setting meetings and follow up, right? That's the that's the magic.
Exactly. I mean, out of 100 investors, maybe one will invest in you. That's a good ratio sometimes.
Right. Yeah. You have to kiss some frogs.
Yes, exactly.
Well, Zeynep, this has been fantastic. Do you mind if I put your contact information in the description below, just so people can reach out if they like?
Yeah, and I look forward to meeting anyone that's interested in entering the U.S. market. Or again, I'm an immigrant myself. We've been here 25 years now, believe it or not. I'm just happy to talk about any issues, immigration related, or any resource. I mean, I'm coming from a standpoint that this has been our American dream for us. We were acquired 4 years ago, and now I just really want to pay it forward. That's where I'm coming from. So happy to help anyone.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today. I really appreciate it. And we're going to look forward to seeing you in May in National Harbor, Maryland.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Zeynep.